Alright, welcome back to another edition of Miami Cycling with Mr. B05. Today we have the Rosewood Winter Series race number 3. It was a very hard race for Cat 4-5, as I'm sure it was for all the other categories. It was super windy. Yesterday when we were racing, I think the forecast called for 15 mile an hour sustained winds out of the south and 30 mile per hour wind gusts, which we definitely felt. And for reference, the winds were coming from left to right here in this video, which means we had a crosswind going through the chicane and we had a crosswind going through the straightaway. And coming out of the straightaway, we were running into a pretty big headwind. It made for some interesting race dynamics. Most of the races pulled apart into groups. In our race, people just started getting dropped, and that was it. People were calling it a day. As one of the bigger riders in the peloton, I found it very difficult to find anywhere to hide from the wind. And no matter where I ducked, I wasn't small enough to get behind somebody, and I struggled starting about maybe 15-20 minutes into this race. I ended up getting behind a wheel that was getting dropped, and then I got dropped, but I hung in there for the rest of the race and let myself get lapped a couple times just to hang out in there and make sure I was getting a good workout in. I raced with Miami Bikes again yesterday. We had Jake and Johnny in the race. We also had Matt Lazzi and Santi in the race. We didn't capture this in the video, but Santi for some reason decided that he was just going to attack from the gun and rode off the front. He eventually got caught a half a lap later, and not sure what else happened with him in the race. Wasn't really paying attention. Soon before I got dropped, last week's winner, Sean Watson, ended up breaking away again and just about lapping the field. My teammate Jake went on the attack, ended up in a breakaway of 3 guys. I think they made it till about 4 laps left before they were caught. The report Jake gave me was that his breakaway companions basically sat up and stopped working, and that's usually a recipe for disaster when you are in the breakaway, as many of you know. So, as you can see, this race is pretty fast. Everybody was riding hard and hard into the wind. It was good. It was fun. It was super tough. Like I said, I didn't accomplish anything that I really wanted to accomplish today, other than, I hung in there for as long as I could. I don't think it's a question of my fitness at this point. I think I'm pretty fit. It's just being able to find the right wheels to sit on and maybe handling these turns a little bit better. It takes a lot of practice to get this course down. I thought I had it during the first race of this series because I was getting around pretty good, but it's always another learning experience. Yeah, before I end the commentary on 4-5, this guy on the right here is Sean Watson. He's the guy who deals the pain for us every race. Eventually he gets back to the front and just takes off and motors away. And here he is. What a beauty. Might have the best hair in the peloton. I used to have the best hair in the peloton, to be honest, but now it's him. Kudos to you, Sean. You're my boy. I love you. Good luck in the 1-2-3 field, hopefully next series. And I just quickly wanted to touch on the P123 race. It was a pretty good race, very entertaining. large field. The wind wreaked havoc. There were a lot of attacks. The group split up a couple times. There were a couple small crashes, including the national champion, Michael Hernandez, who races on my coach's team. This is not the same crash. This is another one, but I thought these photos were pretty good. They end up showing what good sportsmanship looks like, I feel like. One of the riders gets run over, and the rider who ran him over appears to get up and immediately go check on him to make sure he's okay, and that's great. That's what you want to see. More on coach's race. He led out 3 of his teammates from the selection for about the final 2 laps. I think he pulled off with about a half a lap to go. That's all his teammates needed to stay in front and sweep the podium. And they maintain the GC lead in the series, and I think they've gotten a first place every single race so far. That's the end of this video this week. We'll be back next time. Thank you.